Welcome everyone to Thursday's advanced class. Remember that if you have any questions today, we're gonna be dissecting it at the more that we can. This is friendly. Beginner friendly, because the point of this is to explain it from zero to hero. Any one or two topics that you may have. So if you have questions, please ask away. Also, if you're not following this beautiful guy right next to me, what side? What side? Because every single time I look at the screen, it's the other way around. Yeah, like this. There you go. Please go ahead and follow him. And better yet, go watch his morning show because he trades live. And what a home run. What a swing on his golf entry right there. And then come, of course, check out the morning market report. And after that, coming here to get some more trading on your indicators. Alex, if you have your YouTube channel, that'll be fantastic if you can put it in here so we all can go ahead and like and follow.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome.
Just Alex O Crypto on YouTube. That's it, man.
Perfect.
What a morning. What a morning.
morning.
Pump dump all the way around. We got some news data. Pretty wild, man. We managed to get the sniper entry this morning, which was pretty sweet. Couple of scalps along the way, but it's understanding that trap, right? Where the trap is, what we're looking for, how we're looking to trade it, confirmation, and off we went. We don't always catch, the bottoms, but today was a good day to catch the bottom, and we managed to do that. So we can go over the trade just so you guys understand what we were looking at and really how you could have taken this too. And it's not generally the easiest trade. Okay, that's the thing. It comes with a lot of not experience. I wouldn't say experience. It's just you've seen it before. You understand where the area is, and then from there, you can take advantage of it, right? And if you're prepared, right, then you can definitely take a look at it. So let's look here and what I'm looking for a long right now, actually, but no trade yet. I would like an SFP. Big open range breakout this morning, but we can get rid of this right now. So we managed to get in right here on the live stream, and it was there's a pretty defined level. Okay, so we have our money flow point of control. You have this order block in here. And you also have a previous day pivot right here. So this was an area we were looking for pretty much all morning, right? We said overextended to the upside. I managed to take a couple of trades in here. So I managed to take 3 actual scalps. I was looking for the continuation out here. Okay, I took one, break even, took another, break even. Then I took this one and I was up like $200 and then it came back break even. Okay. So I was looking for that push up because this is good bottoming structure in here, okay? So it was valid for the continuation here. However, it did end up getting stopped out, and then we did dump, okay? So that's risk management 101, right? Like that's just understanding where we're at, overextended, and we typically would come back for the liquidity in the lows here. You can use your liquidity indicators, obviously, in Chart Prime here. You can see that we do have liquidity right now here, but if you were all the way back here this morning, you would have understood that, hey, man, if we're going to come down, it's typically going to be in these lows in here where we're looking for the liquidity sweeps coming back within the price action here. Okay. I just woke up my wife. I'm in trouble. Uh-oh. So that was basically, we knew there was liquidity down here. We knew there was an order block down in here. So we were expecting, if we were to roll over, we were expecting it to bounce out of here. That was our key area that we were looking to trade if we were going to roll over. And you know what we did, right? So we came back down as price materialized throughout here. I did end up getting short here, OC, and it came back and it stopped me out again. It was like, what the heck, man? Break even again. Maybe I moved stop loss a little bit too fast on this one to break even because I would have had that down. However, that's all right. it came into this area, and we're on the 1 minute time frame now. This is scalping, right? So remember that. You have a doji engulfing right here. So as soon as we tapped that level, I was in, right? Because this is the level, and like this is very cheap. So I know because this box is predefined, this is the very lowest point of the box where we tapped, right? So I know that if I enter here, my stop is right here. Like I know that's it, right? If I'm willing to risk, I think it was like $100 here, right? It's a very cheap trade, as I like to say, right? Because typically I have like a 0.3, like that's typically my trade setup. So if I can know where I'm wrong, like this, I'll take the trade because I know it's a very cheap trade to try and get a high R multiple, right? So we managed to take that all the way back up to here to the highs. Then we SFP'd the highs, man, like wild SFP'd the highs, and then we dumped again. Okay, so that's why we took profits aggressively. Nice, easy trade this morning. Okay, so now what are we looking for? We're looking for pretty much the same thing. We're looking for an SFP of the low, okay? And a bounce out and push upwards to the top of the orb, right? Whenever you get a big orb open range breakout, you're typically looking to chop within it for the rest of the day. When it's tight, when it's a tight orb, you're looking for breakout trades in either direction. But when it's this big, you're looking to trade within it, okay? So that was the trade this morning. Are we going to go lower? We'll see. For now, just sitting on my hands, trying to be patient. No trade right now. So that was the trade this morning. Oh, see, how was those shorts, bro? They must have played out yesterday. Nice.
They did actually. Perfect. All right, sorry, I was just taking
Did
some
you
profits.
take profits though? That's
Yeah, you knew because of my look. Yes. All right, just looking at this, I was just really typing it out. All right, let me go over a couple of stuff. Let me just get rid of this. And of course, come on, I'm a little lost. Sorry. I'm a simple man. I can only do so much at the same time. Okay, I found my way around. All right, so let's go to my charts really quickly. I'm looking at a couple of things to be playing out. That's what I have on my screen right now. So let's just check it out just because of it. Something I'm looking into is Chainlink. Chainlink, I think, has a little bit more way to go until, I mean, we already have a flip of the ribbon. But the flip of the ribbon was playing out.
Frozen, and you're back.
My back. Okay, thank you.
You said, look at my screen, let's check it out.
All right, so let's look at my screen, check it out. So what I have right now, it is Link. I'm looking to position myself a little bit lower. I believe that we could still go a little bit low in here. Am I still frozen?
You're good.
Okay,
You're good.
sorry. And well, then try to get somewhere in between 0.68, and that is because we have a very big, where is it? Come on, a very big order block right down here. I'm covering myself with half of that entry, and something happened to me yesterday live. While you were on your channel throughout FOMC, I was calculating my entry, and I said, all right, I'm going to separate one full entry just for trading the volatility. All right, and I saw this order block in where was that? In Bitcoin. All right, what happened right there on Bitcoin? Take a look at my entry, and that was on the 4 hours. So 4 hours, and I think it was in here. Take a look at my last entry right there, and guess what? I did not took it. I was trading this in the 5 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, 5 minutes, and I was looking the first area for pullback. My first entry, half of an entry, was here, and then stopped me out. Perfect. My secondary entry was right here. Sorry, my first entry was right here. Perfect. Stopped me out. My secondary entry was right here and stopped me out. And my third and last entry was in here. But I said, you know what? I'm going to cut it out. I'm not going to keep pushing any more money. And let's just wait for it to come back up and then close some areas. And I even said live on Hackers, if this reverses from here, I'm gonna be so pissed. And the damn thing did reverse. Guys, if you have access to Hackers, go check that out. Man, I really regret that. Nonetheless, in trading with OC, and you can also see that on the live. No, Alex, sorry, Piper was telling me, hey, can you check out this and this and that? And I was, you know what? Yes, let me just stop. Let me just take some profit and move my stop, because I was also on Trading with OC show where I gave some entries. That entry played out fantastic. Look at that. Let's see. Let's go to Bitcoin. And from Bitcoin, this was the entry. At candle close, right coming up from that this order block right down here, and then pushing towards. I want to show you something interesting. All right, let me just get rid of my spaghetti. Let me see also if I can get rid of this. All right, much cleaner. I want you guys to look at where we hit on the order block. Sadly, on these order blocks, we cannot see where bullish setups are or bearish setups are. All right, but depending on how the candle plays out, we can absolutely define or infer, right? Infer how those orders are placed. Most of the cases, we just have bunch of orders, right? Bearish orders and bullish orders, or bullish orders and then bearish orders. In this case, I realized that we have some bearish orders at the top, and that's why we were pulling up fast. We were coming back down and pulling up, coming back down and pulling up, all right? But at the end of it all, we kept pushing lower. So I tried to trade that volatility. Important, and I think this is what I would do differently. Once I understand that, I will let it go, and that was my last entry that I did not took. I would aim for half of this order block right here, because look at that, at half of that order block, which is exactly where we were aiming to enter, right there is where we start having, or where the bearishness of the order block stopped, and then the bulls were there. It's not that the bull was just waiting, it's just like people trying to buy were aiming lower, and people trying to short it, they were aiming higher, if that makes sense. So for people shorting it, most likely they were in the 1 minute, and they were, hey, look at breakout, retest, shorted, and then people trying to buying it on larger time frames like daily and 4 hours, allocating big orders in here. So as soon as we touch, we bounce hard from there. So this one played out fantastically. Remember, we're testing the waters, half of an entry here, and just for a Hail Mary, half of an entry around 114, 112. All right, so somewhere around those areas. Let's go back and take a look at a couple of shorts that we've been taking, and I think those played out very nicely. One of those was, well, this was the long from cake, and where is it? Come on. There we go. Oh, no, this was not it. In fact, where was that short? Come on. SPX. Yep. This was a short on the 4 hour that we were expecting to have. Here it is. Just so you know, and I have not presented this to the show because this is needs to end up. Look at our resistance right here. It went right to the resistance. So what happens once I have peak performance? That's when I start looking for that entry. What happened? Unconfirmed short, perfect, but we're still looking for that short. It went right to the resistance, and then, well, that short played out very, very, very nicely. Other than that, most of my reallocations were, for example, Bunk today. There it is. Just basically coming back down. Here is not from today, from yesterday, looking for that one. As yesterday we were looking for this movement to the upside. We just had it today in the morning. So this short, it is actually playing out fantastically. TP1 is about to hit right here at 27.47. But other than that, let's go back to our classical perspective. Let's open anyway. And here's where I'm trying to allocate back down if we still can go lower. I think that we can still go lower. And this is because let's take a look at Bitcoin really quick. And then let's look at altcoins also in comparison to Bitcoin. For example, what happened on the 4 hour time frame? And let's go to a cleaner chart, a much cleaner chart, please. I think this is gonna do. Let's just get rid of that. Perfect. So what are we seeing here? How big of a retracement was it like, hey, oh my god, I'm losing it, everything? No, that was a 2% drop. Come on, nothing, really nothing, right? Come on, if you think this is a big drop, please take a look at the different drops that we had. I mean, this one was scary. 6% in what was that? 8 hours? No, a little bit more. 16 hours, 2 days. Even that one, it was not that bad. If you're just getting started off trading and you're doing crypto, please note that we could have a 20% drop within 1 or 2 days. All right. That, my friend, it is a dump. All right. So just compare that. Yeah, exactly. Just compare it to where we are right now and what kind of movements we're. And I'm not here to try to give you FOMO or food or anything, right? But it's just the kind of movements that we have both to the upside and to the downside. It takes a little longer, and you can see it right here. It takes a little longer to go from this point to this point than getting from top to bottom. It's faster to drop, all right? Just like going through the balcony. Old joke, if you remember. If not, better yet. All right, so let's go and check out now some altcoins. Like, for example, let me see. Not Litecoin. It was, all right, BNB. By the way, another short that we entered yesterday. Fantastic. It's playing out. Atom, especially Atom on the 4 hour. This is a big drop, if you ask me. That's a 14% drop, non-stopping so far. And right now, we have a red candle. XRP, well, XRP is just stable right there. Yes, we have the pump and dump, but we're holding so far, so good. ADA was one of those ones along with Link. All right, so look at that movement. And if we go, for example, the 15 minutes, this is what I really want to show you. Look at this last movement. All right, this is a parabolic movement. And based on that parabolic movements are notorious for moving fast and then having a big retracement, a 50% retracement. So what am I looking at here? Try to catch the bottom, and then for that 50% retracement. This is not it. Let's hide everything. Look at the size of the movement. Look at the structure of the movement. All right. And now, and this is an altcoin, right? If we go, for example, from Link to ADA, we're going to be exactly the same. If we go to ADA to Solana, we're going to be exactly the same. They're almost copying one to each other. Well, it's not that they're copying each other, right? It's just that we start to see a pattern. Look at a SUI or SUI. I like to call it SUI. Look at, for example, well, Dash, but Dash is a joke. All right, look at Dash, right? Look at everything out there. We have the same pattern. And then if we scroll up and take a look at dominance, Bitcoin dominance, and now let me right click in here and invert the scale. Does that look like the same to you? So what is it going on in here? What's happening here? We're seeing, and let me speculate on this because so far with the information and the investigation that I have done, I cannot assure you that, but this is most likely what is happening. We're seeing retail taking profits on the pump that happened on altcoins and pushing it to Bitcoin. Thank you, honey. When we see Bitcoin movements, well, then I believe big players are slowly, because we don't see big body candles, are slowly taking profits, and we as retail are exit liquidity. Caveat here. Remember what we also have seen, that right now whales have been doing it the other way around. But the fact of the matter is that we have been acting, we've been taking from altcoins, pushing into Bitcoin, while whales are selling their Bitcoin. Dumping coming? I don't think so just now. I think so that it's going to happen within 1 week's time. Let's go and check that out very briefly. All right, and let me get to dominance because next time I look at this inverted, I'm gonna lose my head. All right, perfect. And let's go to Bitcoin. And if we go out, this is for the 15. Let's go to the 4 hours. There we go. Look at where do I have my alerts? 113. Fair value gap. What else? Previous highs, right all the way here. 110, right? And that is because we can see on ranges that sometimes we have that final spring before moving upwards. In fact, now that it just appeared, look at that candle structure. This candle structure is nothing else than this one copied and pasted right here. Would that make sense to you, Alex? Let me know. But this is what I'm expecting.
I like that.
I also like it.
You're so bearish, so
You think? I mean, 110. Do you think it's very bearish?
I think no, 110 is good. A retest of 110. I think that might come. I think they grind sideways more, and then maybe that comes in September. I think right now, I'm not sure. Timing wise, it's hard right now because of tariffs, right? So timing is hard right now. That's the thing that I'm still. I'd love to see a good dump. Tomorrow unemployment rate should be good. That could be a good dump. And if we look at like, I think Mohammed here asked us to look at gold too, and we can do that. But the S&P starting to look a little bit toppy. The Nasdaq, a big rollover for the Nasdaq. Okay, looks like a candy cane or I don't know how to explain it. It looks bad. It's still holding higher highs and higher lows, but like a lot of the market right now, it's like it seems very uncertain. You know, up only on some things, but also very choppy and very uncertain. So it's interesting timing wise. I think we can definitely like just looking at my screen here, like the Nasdaq continues to rip to the upside here, right? And I'm just kind of watching this right now. But look at this last couple of weeks, right? Like I mean, this is the 1 hour, but like look at this. Like we've ramped up, consolidated, ramped up, consolidated, ramped up, and now this is a lot different. This is a new sign, in my opinion. So this tells me we're hunting something, right? Leverage longs, whatever, right? Like people in the market long here. If we look at this on like a daily, you know, this is, what would you say about this? This looks like exhaustion, right? Dojis, climbing, 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 climbing. And look at the difference in the last, like, I would say in this week, right? This week's been kind of cuckoo, right? So interesting enough. Then we look at the same thing with the S&P 500 all-time highs, but this is pretty bearish, man. Something like that. Like we could say that about here, but we don't have big wicks up here, right? This up here, it's like we've really pushed and then dumped, right? So depending if this holds, I would say we need to hold this level here that we came to yesterday. You can see that's a perfect retest of the high here on the S&P. Then yes, if we can consolidate, then I think Bitcoin can do the same. And then we have the one flush, maybe end of August into September, and then we go. Still got a lot of time here to digest because I think even with coming into August is typically a summer month, so it's a little slower, but it's also bullish. And then September is bearish, right? Just general seasonality. So that's something to always be aware of. And then looking at, I can take a little look at gold here. Just taking a look at gold here. I was helping someone else trade gold here, and we were trading this all the way up here. And you can see that this has finally been lost here. So for me right now with gold, right, you're still looking for gold to hold on to these lows in here, okay? That's kind of the 3,200 area. That's kind of the make or break for gold. You want to see this continue to hold. Obviously, it's had an incredible year all the way up. But if we're using, our indicators and stuff like that on here, what we can see is we see a lower high here. Okay, we see a lower low in here. So is this the beginning of a correction? I'm not sure, but we do see, a little bit of a downwards trend forming here. So can we see an ABC down into here? Probably, right? And I'd be looking for the liquidity in the lows here. My chart prime indicators aren't loading here. 1 second. Yeah. So liquidity in the lows here. If we're pulling a fib, right? So you're looking down into these lows, right? And then if you pull a fib in here, right? Typically a 0.5 on gold. So you can see how that's held here. So we're looking to come back down, possibly down into this area here as a potential buy area if we fail to hold here. Okay, so this is a little bit of a breakdown. You could get a little rally and retest and then come down. Okay, that's very possible. But short-term time frames suggest that we are sideways and consolidating. So within a range, you want to trade buy low and sell high, right? So right now you're at the low of the range. The sticking point here is definitely at 33.30 basically, right? So we're looking at that there and looking for that to hold, right? If this holds, then great. Meaning holding the lows of the range in here. So first tap of liquidity being here at 32.50 and looking for that to hold. If not, you're looking for some sort of bounce out of here and then go. But I don't main trade gold, so I'd be asking OC his opinion too on what he would be looking for. But look at this. This is pretty downtrending corrective in my opinion. So with something like this, you want to see the structure change, right? Like a good old trend line, right? Coming down here, that to be broken and some higher highs and higher lows, then you'd be looking to get long on gold. Other than that, you're trying to trade the trend. So retest, right? So retest continuation down all the way until you get into those areas that I just talked about and then look to possibly flip long.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, let me know, guys, if we're frozen. In my end, we are frozen. So let me actually just...
You're good here. I can see.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, perfect. So I don't know why on my other end we were frozen. All right, we're unfrozen already. Perfect. By the way, I do see also Mohammed Omar. Can I ask about on Trade IQ? Sadly, we don't teach Trade IQ on these classes. These are straight chart prime dedicated because that Trade IQ, it is a influencer indicator. Sometimes we touch on those, just the basics, but if you want to learn a little bit more in depth, I got you, my friend. I just shared you the Trade IQ tutorials page. Just check them out on the side chat and you'll find everything in there. Once you have watched those videos, you can absolutely come in here and let us know, like for example, hey, in Trade IQ I saw this, how does it work? And I'll be more than happy to give you a specific answer on that one. But Trade IQ has his own videos. We got them right there, my friend. So hopefully that answers your question. Other than that, let's go and let me show you. Right now, I am on the 4 hours, right? It's nothing new. Let me just wrap this idea up, which is you can see, I mean, the most prominent analysis is this, all right? And you might be saying, hey, OC is very, very bearish. I'm kind of are, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm not looking for a possible run to the upside, all right? It's going to be a limited to run to the upside, absolutely, right? And especially since we are breaking through that zero line, this is a bullish signal. How bullish? Well, then we can even go somewhere around 120 or 121 areas right around here, and that is because we have some liquidations very close to us. Let me just turn them on and you see that right now we have a much closer liquidation for longs, somewhere around 119 or 120, which is going to be faster to get them than to get the shorts that they are slightly below at 2.13, which by the way, we took them yesterday here, right? So yesterday we have those at 1.64%, but now Look at that. The closest liquidation at 1.5, it is to the upside, 120 area. So coming to the weekend, we might be seeing that push to the upside. That could be a positioning for myself to the downside for a possible short. So anything that happens throughout this week, I don't expect it to be exactly as is right here. But I'm expecting a drop back down or some liquidity grab, especially out of this area right here. Is it going to happen? Maybe not, but it's better to be prepared for your worst case scenario than just thinking that it's not going to happen and then when it does, you get wrecked, right? So other than that, today's going to be a very simple day for me. I'm just looking for allocation. For example, Ethereum, I'm looking for a breakout. I haven't had that breakout, so I'm still standing on that. LTC, as you may already see, I have it in a possible position right here on the 15 minutes. I short, open short. BNB, I'm on an active short, but seems I'm going to close it because of this candle right here. All right. And then Adam looking for that entry. We haven't had that entry, I think so. Have we? Let me check it out. Yep, we did had that entry. On half of an entry, we are rocking it right now. And other than that, I'm just waiting. Like for example, XRP, I'm expecting to have a push to the upside, and I'm not trading that. Why? Because I already have taken a leap of faith with Atom. All right, so I have limited capital, or depending on my size of my wallet, I will be able to allocate in between one or another. What about Solana? All right, Solana is something that I'm not touching at this point because it doesn't have the right structure for my taste. But looking at those areas, we are absolutely breaking and retesting on a trend line. So far, this is a fantastic breakout retest. What we can do is just do a trend line here. We're breaking the trend line. We are right now crossing over the green cloud. And what I'm going to be looking for, it is, all right, we already have a low. We need to take some meaningful highs and then come back down and either do a double bottom or a higher low to create a trend line. And that's when you're going to have your entry. How would that look like on your oscillators? A little pause and then a break through your zero line. You will be aiming in the 15 minutes to your dynamic reactor so far. Let me bring up the rest of my indicators to see how far could we maybe go. And look at that. We have an area of range. So we need to overcome it first. So previous resistance becomes new support. And then bounce on it. We have a loud order block. So actually looking at this, if we are able to push through, there we go. We're actually looking at the top of that loud order block. Still, we can still bounce off that loud order block. If that is the case, just give it some time and wait for that. Bottoming pattern, and then maybe double top or some wicking action at the bottom. Not as big as here, but something like that, right? So like a V-shaped recovery. And other than that, that's what you need to do. I mean, just waiting so far to wait for that breakout on the 15 minutes. Mohammed Omar says closed. Not sure what you mean, my friend. Please let me know. What about closed? I don't get it.
You can't get access. I don't know.
You can get access. There's one video there. All right. If not, no access. All right. Just go to YouTube and then do. Let me see. Let me draw my screen in the meantime. Now let me just find it for you, and I'll send you the link.
Yeah, so a couple of more things that I'm looking at before I go and drive across the country. I will be packing up the whole laptop and everything, man. The whole computer, my whole life.
I've tried
man.
thousands of
Wild.
indicators.
I got some levels for you guys here on Solana. Solana. So looking for a bounce in here. This one was mitigated this morning. So coming down, retesting the lows in here. Okay, anything lower? Looking at 168 over here. Okay, so there's your 169 level. So I'll share that chart with you guys in here if you're going to roll over here. But we're currently at a bounce level here for Solana, so we'll see if we get it. Same with Ethereum, breakout, retest, continuation, OC. I don't know. What do you think? OC special, guys, so possible continuation here. Onwards and upwards. This looks ugly as fuck, but I mean, we'll see if it does want to hold here. Okay, so looking for higher highs and higher lows within here, and you could possibly look to get long up to $4,000. Ooh wee, that would be sweet. However, we do have a 3,600 being our major hold level. Okay, so keep that in mind here. 3,600. Altcoins I was looking at, Sui here, holding here quite nicely. Obviously the sweep down onto this big trend line. This is a trade I took last weekend. This was an absolute banger. But you can see here we have a more macro trend line coming up through here, through this low, as you can see here. So we're looking for this momentum to hold here. Okay, when we go into a 4-hour here, we can see that is holding. So as long as that holds, great. If you do sweep down below, you're looking at 350. Okay, but looking for this 370 area to hold for potential continuation on SWI. Right now it's consolidating sideways, which is fine, right? We expect sideways before up, especially on a lot of these. So keep your eye on SWI. I think that's it runs quite nicely, so we'll see how it goes. XRP's trash.
Hey,
Virtuals.
what?
Virtuals came to our buy level yesterday. Okay, still looking for this to play. We'll see if we get there. Okay, another one, $1.20 to $1.15. That general area, looking for the bounce and break of this downwards trend line as well. Pepe holding our 11 area, so 40 is 11, looking for that to hold as well and push back up and get above that trend line. If we break these trend lines, that's what I'm looking for, is strength in the move, right? We can see Ethereum has done this. We're looking for things to follow suit, in my opinion. So you'll see what you get. And then there's Pengu, right? Pengu trying to hold that 3.5 cent area. Okay. We clearly broke out of the downtrend. Now we're looking for
short
continuation out. There we go, right? Look at this guy. Mr. Pengu short.
We'll see.
We will see, man. We will see. All I know is I'm going to be seeing a lot of highway. That's it.
All right. So make sure you get some coffee. Don't sleep throughout the trip. If you are feeling tired, give me a call. Keep you entertained. Guys, let's wrap this class up. Let's let Alex go to his road trip because he has a lot to pack. He absolutely needs to pack his slides and his laptop because we're not gonna be forgiving about the classes. No, just kidding. But other than that, my friend, thank you so much, guys, for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow. And Alex, have a
later,
nice
everybody.
Trip,
trade safe. Thank you, man.